Hey there guys, I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about Doom the Dark Ages. So I really love the Doom series. I'm a huge fan of Doom 2016 and 2020 Doom Eternal, so really going into Doom the Dark Ages I was very optimistic about this game. And I can safely say this is a very good game. But I think how it compares to 2016 Doom and Doom Eternal, I would say it's probably the third best out of those games. Um, doesn't take anything away from the game at all. I still had a blast playing it, but I really think some of the changes did for this game, although they did make some changes for sure compared to those two, I do feel like the feel of it is slightly tweaked down a bit. That is very different to those two games that I personally lean to 2016 Doom and Eternal more. So Doom the Dark Ages is a prequel to 2016 Doom, and it takes place where the Nine Sentinels of Argent D'Nur are at a ferocious war with Hell. And the makers have empowered the Doomslayer to help tie the war into their favor to essentially stop the Hell seeking the heart of Argent. And essentially, the Doomslayer comes across a one of the main enemy protagonists from the game that I experienced called Prince Azrak, and you're trying to stop him as well with his essentially his allies to stop the war from happening. So that's really the story. I don't really think for a lot of people they will get into the main aspect of this game for the story. But I do feel like this game does put more emphasis on the campaign story a little bit more, which I think is fine, and I didn't mind it too much. I think it was good that they kind of put some perspective on the narrative a little bit of this game to kind of add a little bit more lore and touches to this game. So yeah, not many complaints from the story in terms of that department there. But the main aspect of Doom the Dark Ages is going to be the gameplay. So I think for a lot of people who played Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, if you are kind of used to like the fast-paced aerobatic combat of that game, I think Doom the Dark Ages does shift that away a bit. So I think the gameplay of the Dark Ages is a more heavier, more grounded combat approach. You're not really going to be doing more aerial aerobatic combats in this game as much. And most of the gameplay I feel where it's more reliant on is using the source shield. So now the Doomslayer has a shield, and you can use it to essentially block enemies, but also parrying. And the parrying has become what I think the main core aspect of that game. And I think it's good that essentially they try to tweak the gameplay a little bit to add something new, like a different flavor to a style of gameplay compared to 2016 Doom and Eternal. And the parrying feature of this game I think is good. Now, I don't feel the parrying is really challenging, and in fact, realistically, when it comes to parrying, you have a very forgiving parrying window that essentially allows you to essentially deflect. So you would have like enemy projectiles coming into your way. Some are red, some are green. The red ones are the ones that you could block, but then you would also have a stagger window where essentially if you're blocking too much, then effectively you like lose your posture essentially, and you can't block anymore. But then also if you have the green ones, you can use it as a parrying to deflect it back to an enemy, and it will effectively either stun them or just inflict damage. And essentially that's really where most of the gameplay will lie on for you to survive most of the enemy encounters. You are going to be shooting in the game using the different weapons like the shotgun, the assault rifles, the plasma rifles, like a lot of those guns that you're used to prior Doom games. And I think that's something that they've added very differently to the game as well. Essentially now you're reliant on using the source shield, and it's a very cool as well. You can also throw it as well, which allows to kill a bunch of enemies. You can also use it to stun enemies as well. And there's also like cool upgrade features that you can do as well, like upgrading your weapons, upgrading your source shield, to have different sort of perks and abilities. And also, you can also explore most of the missions by exploring secret areas and passages, which allow you to get extra consumables that you can use to also enhance further upgrades as well. So I really feel like the gameplay, it adds a lot more to essentially a different sort of style of gameplay that essentially you would be used to the prior Doom games, which maintains that same core but has a different flavor to it by having a different approach that they want to take along with it as a different style, which I think is very, very good. But yeah, other aspects of the gameplay as well. There are some more cutscenes that they use throughout the game as well that helps put more greater emphasis on the story, which I actually think is good. I like the approach that they took with that. Also, you also have different missions where you would be involved, where the Doomslayer will have a cybernetic dragon as well, which is pretty cool. So you kind of get into more like, you know, flying the dragon. It kind of feels like you're kind of flying a spacecraft of some kind, and you would be shooting down enemies, or you'll be taking down ships as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. And also you have a big mech that you're also in, and you're mostly just doing like punches and dodging as well. It's a bit tedious, but I think those sort of aspects of the gameplay, they've tried to add sort of different sort of things to it, which I didn't mind. I don't think it wasn't innovative in any way or anything like that, but I think it was just something that they just did that just essentially just make the gameplay from the previous Doom games just slightly different in some aspects. But yeah, that's pretty much it about Doom: The Dark Ages. I think this is a very good game. I think certainly if you're a fan of Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, I would definitely recommend playing this game. And yeah, I think the changes that they did for it, although it maintains the same Doom core, it has a different flavor to it. I think people will appreciate it, including myself. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Doom: The Dark Ages. Let me know what you think of this game if you have played it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, dislike if you want to dislike. Thank you for watching, and yeah, that's about it. See you later.